you surround
everyone is crying.
All the light was fading like the light's back now.
Hello, welcome to my channel for Evolved Humans. I am Miss Day. So, it's crazy because right at the beginning of this reading, I was feeling, okay, 2 songs have come to mind, very interesting. So one of them is At Last, like that, I don't know what the name, I don't know if it's Etta James, but it's like I heard that song and that At Last My Love Has Come Along. But it's interesting because as soon as I was feeling it when this reading started, it was like a past thing, like a past connection. I think that this is like, I don't know if this is a past relationship that you've lost it. That was one of the first things I was feeling, is that like you've lost a connection and you did not want to lose it. I think this was a very like soully, whatever, like a very soul connection. It was very deep. And I feel like it's become a part of you. And so also one of the first things I got right when I was getting ready to do this reading is that whoever you are, it's like, this goes for like the whole wave, where you are a creative person and you are ready. Okay, and this is like a future type of feeling, which is neat because I don't do that. Like everything can always change according to each decision that you make. But it's like this one feels very much like a solid forward motion, like you are aligned with your actual balanced out self, like the masculine and the feminine. I feel like you've got a balance with that, and it has to do with your creativity. And I don't know if that's like, that feels like it kind of got like you laid that down for a while in the past, and I think that it's kind of getting stirred up again, like in a really positive way. And I'm not sure if you have really like a good friend type of connection around you, but I do feel like a lot of people in this reading, it's like they're talking with people and it's making them feel kind of like inspired to be more creative again. Neat. Because I feel like in the past you kind of like drifted away from people, and now I feel like you've locked in on some good new connections. Neat. It's higher level. It's like it's a higher vibration and you found that place. This feels like the beginning of the reading. It's almost like there's some of you, definitely not all of you, but there are some of you who are like this pained, sort of like I found that connection, but it's lost in the past, like it's gone. I think some of you are feeling that pain right now. So like the forward motion though, I feel like it's very much like your masculine is being supported. Like you have good ideas and you have a solid balance right now. The outcome is going to be that your accomplishment is that you actually went for it and just like went along the weird paths. I don't think this is going to be a straight like point A to point B, like there you go, you've got a solid plan and you get the exact expected result. It feels like this is sort of like an exploration moment where you're readdressing that you have freedom in not so much of a negative and fear of the unknown way and like emotionally closed off like maybe in the past. I feel like you're recognizing that yourself is enough to fill you up, and if you haven't gotten that yet, I think this is supposed to tell you that even in your past connections that you feel like have been lost, like whatever, oh my gosh, this makes me think of earlier. It's super deep. I think that a lot of you need to express the positive stuff out loud and not just the negative stuff to do with like loss and grieving. I feel like some of you like let yourself say some of the positive, because that's a part of your healing too. Like that's a part of your letting it out, not just letting out like how much it feels like almost unjust. It's like let yourself say all of the good times too, and they can go with you into this next period in a different way. But it's going to go with you. It's a part of you. Everything, okay, I know this sounds like another obvious statement, but this is like a thing I kept hearing today that I didn't know if it was going to come in, and it is, which is basically like wherever love, that's an exchange. It's an exchange of energy when two, beings love at each other. It's like an exchange. You have to draw it like in the frequency that you receive. And it goes both ways. So it's like wherever there has been love in the past, even if the connection had to sever in some sort of physical way, like to go in different directions for whatever reason, even if it's not literally a physical loss, but like a relationship loss, I feel like you're supposed to be able, like, allow yourself to take the good forward with you. Like, you don't have to seal it away. And this is something that I thought of in the last reading, and I wasn't sure if it would come back. And it's basically that, like, I think some of you may avoid, this is not all of you, but I think that some of you may avoid some of those really low songs. Not low songs, they're super helpful if they're healing. But like the things that hit you all the way in the core, in your gut, I feel like some of you are avoiding songs that take you back. And I think that you're being shown those songs for a reason. So like go with it. And I also keep hearing that cooperate instead of compete. That's coming back. Like that had been in a few readings. And I feel like it's coming in again. Like cooperate and don't compete. You don't have to battle things that are not a part of this new wave that you're trying out. It's more like whatever goes in this direction with you, it's going to come with you. You don't have to force it to, because it's naturally aligned with you if it's in this new transitioned level that you're in. So I feel like the outcome feeling, like I said, like I don't usually say this, but it's like an outcome feeling with this is that you're going to feel fulfilled because of what you accomplished with your creative endeavor. So here's the thing too. This doesn't go to everyone, but I feel like some of you with your creative endeavor stuff, when you start to create, you also open up. Like you have to let it flow. So it's like, I think that you need to kind of also focus, just like when you're acknowledging your abilities, it's just as important when you open up to create that you decide what levels are going to flow through your vehicle as you create. So it's like, if there are things that when you open up, be ready, like have a solid foundation that you're going to come out with a high frequency that can be received in the way that you want it to be felt. Because like, if not, you're opening up. And I think a lot of you may get like a insecure type of feeling that kind of shakes you up your own flow, because you're kind of like overthinking about what other people will think and what their take will be on it. And instead they're basically like saying, put all of you, like when it feels the best in you, go towards that. Just go towards that direction. It's like, I keep feeling that today too, that I didn't know if this would come back in, but it's interesting because like whoever this is for, you're going in this forward, upward motion, and it's for the right cause. And it's going to kind of feel like a little bit frictional because you have to kind of detour away from things that seem like they're coming along with you, but then they're not. And I feel like this is really important, that whoever this reading is for, that you take in that cooperating means it's not necessarily going to be easy to continue forward when certain people and certain environments don't align with that anymore. Like, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy to leave things behind, but I think some of you are going to start to leave bigger things behind. And I don't know what that is. And sometimes too, like when you think, okay, I have to close this door, I think some of you might get like negative feelings from it, almost like it's a failure, and they're like saying, no, this is the process. Like, trust in the process, because this is a really positive forward motion. you're going to feel a fulfilled feeling because of your own learning it and your own experience, like what you become. I keep thinking that like what you become along the journey, like that's what matters most. It's who you are becoming. It's not like what you end up doing in the long run. It's what you are. Like, what is your truth? What's your true vibration? And what did you work to achieve? And I feel like that's what you're going to experience. And I do think that some of you are able to take some of those positive connections, and you're able to, like, if you're getting these messages to listen to things that you know would just kind of melt you all the way into a puddle, and that's why you avoid them, like, don't avoid them. Just let yourself do it, cooperate. It's not always going to be easy, but like, your vehicle's clearing stuff out because this is a higher vibration. Whew. It's neat because the vibration, it feels like you have a higher sense of self, or a higher sense of connection, like with yourself, where you're like, no, this is who I get to be. And I feel like that gratitude is like moving throughout you. So like maybe even putting a word on it is something that can help you in going forward. Like even the things that have to bleed out a little bit, you can be grateful that you can bleed it out in a way that like you actually feel passion in doing it. Let it feel good, the way that like the elements feel good. Yeah, I think going forward, this is a very big, like, kind of manifesting moment. That's something I felt also today. It's like, here's another part that is just coming in. I think some of you, they're telling you to redirect your focus every single time that you sort of feel like all of the obstacles and distractions in the way to what you want, like the feeling inside that you want to end up with. They're like, everything I think might look bigger to you just because of your own outlook. It's not that these are like undefeatable things. It's just that like your outlook on it is that they're so big and there's so many. So I feel like a huge... Sorry, I want some sage. I feel like a huge part of this is like to recognize that your outlook and your stepping into your own power when you have more knowledge than before, it's like that's a part of this forward motion where you continue to grow if you allow yourself room to continue to grow and like step forward into it. And when you start to accomplish like even just learning things, like celebrate little things along the way, because that's going to be like your little light spot. You know, as things get a little bit tricky when people sort of, because I feel like some people, you're going to have almost like some of them might have some issues like pulling away because they won't understand why you're going forward so headstrong or steadfast, whatever. Whew. Okay, so I feel like I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, let me know in the comments if this resonates with you for sure. And I do feel like there's a lot of masculine in here. So like whoever you are, you're really trying to direct your focus. You're really trying to align your focus into what your next move is. So, neat. Okay. I hope you have a really good rest of your night, and I will see you in the next reading. Subscribe if you feel like the readings resonate. And if you are interested in a personal reading, you can find my email in the description of the channel. Okay, bye.